Call the roll. I'll call the roll. Alderman Strelchek. Here. Alderman Boucher.
Here.
Oh, yeah, what do you want to call it? I can do it. I just want to get it.
Alderman Strelchek.
I'm here.
Alderman Bushy.
Here.
Alderman Meyer.
Here.
Alderman Hancher.
Here.
Commissioner Garrell.
Still here.
Commissioner Parrish.
Here.
Commissioner Schneider. Here. Commissioner Nervin.
Here.
Commissioner Worth.
Here. We have a quorum. The first item of business is to approve the Sewer Utility District Commission meeting minutes of March 8th, 2022. Is there a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion, corrections, or comments?
Aye.
Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We have two resolutions. One actually will take a couple of minutes. The first one is Resolution 3946. This is a resolution authorizing a waiver from our code's provisions requiring sanitary service for the property located at 1310 Highland Road. And let me give you a brief, while staff is getting prepared, a brief rundown. The applicant actually was considering having us remove this item from the agenda this evening. They are looking at other alternatives to this right now based on work the city's doing to the sanitary sewer utility district. I decided to leave this on the agenda anyhow because we could approve this waiver, but it would be contingent upon them actually entering into a waiver agreement with us. So if they don't want it, it goes away, but we don't have to chew this thing twice. This is for the corner of Highland and Port Washington Road, the residential area behind the medical office building. The proposal that's there, by not requiring sanitary sewer service, they would have a less dense development than they would if they probably hooked up to our service.
Question. So they wanted to pull it because they no longer want a less dense?
Well, they're talking about going with the sewer service. They think that the cost won't be as great as they thought, and therefore they would apply for a development agreement under the allowed zoning as opposed to the reduced. We can't say no to that.
Right.
But they were talking about a slightly less dense residential development.
Why didn't they want us to table it?
Why don't we table it then?
You can table it.
I move to table this.
We have a motion and a second to table. All in favor of tabling, please say aye.
Aye.
I thought perhaps you'd want to take it up because you wanted the less dense development. Give them that.
I do, but
make it
I didn't know
easier
what
for
the
them.
developer wanted. So.
Make it easier for them.
No,
What's that?
It's too late.
no, that's all right. Okay,
All right.
that sounds good.
The next item, Resolution 3947. This was a resolution authorizing the award of 6 contracts for various sanitary sewer projects, generator purchase, pumping system, design, inspections, and lateral locating services. Is there any questions for staff on this item? If not, is there, Alderman Schneider?
All of these expenses seem very reasonable to me, but I just had a clarification question about lift station E. I understand the logic behind getting a separate pump with a separate source of natural gas as opposed to electricity as a backup, but it was also referenced in there that you weren't able to find property to reestablish a new lift system. So I'm wondering, is there a way to?
It should have said yet. I mean, we haven't stopped pursuing it, but after 3 public information meetings, we don't have anyone volunteering to otherwise grant us the easement.
So my secondary question was, is there any possibility of using that same piece of property and creating a new lift station on that property, or is it logistically impossible?
we don't own the property, so we only have an easement, and yes, it is physically impossible to, we can't take the existing lift station out of service. We would have to keep that in service during the construction of the new lift station, which can't fit in the easement. So,
Got it. That was
so-
my question.
Alderman Parrish?
Thank you, Mayor. Director Lindeen and I had corresponded about this. My question is also about Lift Station E, and what we're voting on tonight is just the $74,000 to design the backup system. I was just curious if you had any idea is this going to be a multi-million dollar project? And really where my line of questioning is going, are we just doubling down?
It is not intended to double down. It is not intended to otherwise replace the replacement project. It is otherwise intended to be a stopgap. Unfortunately, in every wet weather event, we put residents at risk of basement backups due to the surcharging that we've identified in the system. So the backup pump would be intended to alleviate some of that so that it wouldn't otherwise result in surcharging until we can address the capacity issues with the station itself.
I would, if possible, I would just like to request that when you come back, I assume we're going to approve the $75,000 expense, but when you come back with the cost design of the system, at least show us some of the sites you've considered, and
You saw them all. I mean, you approved the sites that were otherwise
they've all been
identified for
approached
it.
and they all said no, and
Yep.
so we have nothing.
When we went through the land use analysis and otherwise whittled down the sites, that was what Sewer Utility District Commission otherwise authorized us to do to negotiate with those properties for those easements.
But you said we're still looking, so let's not give up. and I
We're not.
guess,
We're
yeah,
not. It's just, again,
Maybe a house will
unfortunately,
become for sale and we can buy it.
we are talking about
Yeah.
rights of first refusal. That's another option that we would otherwise consider.
Is there a motion? Has there been a motion? Did my Alzheimer's kick in and I forgot? Or
Has there been a motion?
is there a motion to
No.
recommend this to the common, or
I move to recommend it to the common council.
is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to recommend this to the common council. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of recommending this to the common council, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there a
Mayor,
motion?
I'm just reclusing myself from the vote.
Oh, okay. Is there a motion to close the Sewer Utility District Commission meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
To adjourn, excuse me. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.